In this package, Deputy Governor calls on the people to engage in business ventures to boost state economy. Managers of 3 petrol stations in the are arrested for selling products above government-approved pump price. And 250 participants of Total E&P Skill Acquisition Program completes training. Details of these and more in a moment. A very good morning to you. My name is Agnes Udolkin Brown. Welcome to KBC 45 AM News. The people of the state have been encouraged to engage in ventures that will boost the economic fortunes of the state. The State Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekpo, gave this advice at the inauguration of a hospitality outfit, Maktesi Hotel in Abak. Patience John filed in this report here presented.
The Governor described the investment by Sir Gabriel Etim in hospitality outfit as an economic tree that will yield huge dividends, especially now that the country's economic climate is experiencing a fall. Mr. Ekpo noted that the outfit will create employment for the people as well as add to the aesthetic value of Abak.
I feel greatly motivated by the foresight of this couple who have made this investment possible, because beyond the prospects of offering employment to some of our youths, this investment will go a long way in adding extensive value to the status of Abak, given its proximity to Uyo, the capital city.
The proprietor of Maktesi Hotel, Sir Gabriel Etim, explained that the idea of establishing the outfit was to immortalize his parents, whom he noted had contributed immensely to his success in life. He promised efficient services and called for patronage.
We assure the public of 24 hours to ensure your satisfaction and value for your money. Our staff are educated, smart, and respectful.
The chairman on the occasion, Mr. Nkerewe Metuguda, thanked the chief executive officer of Maktesi for acknowledging the contributions of his parents in his life and advised him to ensure the proper management of the outfit. Goodwill messages were received at the event.
The performance of Governor Dum Emmanuel in just 6 months in office has been scored high by women of Uyo and Ikorekpene senatorial districts. The governor's performance receives accolades when the governor's wife, Mrs. Martha Dum Emmanuel, took appreciation tour to Ibionibum and Ikorekpene local government areas. Eyano Paul completes the story.
From it to where the governor's wife started her tour, women were full of praises for the governor for appointing their sons and daughters into positions of responsibility, flagging off road projects and siting of industries. Others, including the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Kanokun, the clan head of Itam, Obong Donald Ubo, the member representing Itu in the State House of Assembly, Mr. Idonga Sirituen, lauded Governor Emmanuel for his industrialization drive.
We are very happy to have you here.
It wasn't great everything. You know my job well for you. The first ground breaking is where I see an industry. I will do no work. Again, I'm feeling it. We need to support him. I'm going to say for now. I'm going to
At Ibionibum local government area, where the women came out en masse to receive the governor's wife, the PDP women leader, the supervisor of education and women affairs, Victoria Mekun, and Ms. Akwaibum, lauded the governor's wife for being a source of inspiration to her husband. Ms. Akwaibum 2015 presented Most Supportive Governor's Wife Award to Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel. At Ikorekpene local government area, the women, including Mrs. Nseti Young, who represented wife of the Chairman Transition Committee, the Commissioner for Special Duties, Engineer T.D. Young, Senator Emmanuel Ibowesien, the Paramount Ruler Okuku E.J.A. Asiak, Akwabonga and Christiana Ibinda, described Governor Udom Emmanuel as God sent to the state. They appreciated the governor's wife's gesture of empowering women and youths.
We congratulate governor. We congratulate you. We congratulate ourselves for a wise choice.
And may God bless you in Jesus' name.
Mrs. Martha Udomi-Menyuel in all the areas visited said she was at the legal government areas to thank the women for standing by her and her husband in the April elections. Mrs. Emmanuel promised to continue to empower the women and appreciated the local government areas for recognizing her husband's efforts in developing the state and enjoined them to continue to support the present administration. Yagenopo reporting.
A committee to look into the possibility of adopting contributory pension scheme for the state civil servants has been constituted by the state governments. The Commissioner for Information, Mr. Nyakano Mana, made this known after the extraordinary large state executive council meeting held at the Low Meridian Hotel, Rio. Mr. Mana said the committee, which is to consider the pros and cons of adopting the scheme, is headed by the head of civil service, Mrs. Ekarabon. He said other members of the committee include some members of the State Executive Council and some labor leaders. The Commissioner observed that those who constitute the committee are tested in the matter, having attended pension conference alongside the governor at Abuja. The Commissioner said another committee to harmonize the various inputs and contributions made by members of the State Executive Council at the meeting has also been constituted. It is headed by the Commissioner of Economic Development. The committee is ordered to submit a report in 2 weeks' time for the Council's consideration and possible adoption. The State Executive Council, he said, has as a cardinal point for the meeting the consideration of the 2016 budget appropriation estimate, which focuses on the continuous development of the state.
We are looking at having a budget that is implementable and is achievable in view of the current crisis in the international oil market.
Speaking on the 2016 budget estimate, the Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Kano Kon, said the state government is conscious of the present economic situation in the world and was out to have an implementable budget for the year 2016. Mr. Kona judged the government to have done well in executing the 2015 budget, adding that details of the 2016 budget appropriation estimate will soon be made public.
Large issue of the State Executive Council. So it means that the government, the governor of Akwa Ibom State, the government of Akwa Ibom State is very serious about 2016 budget because it's a major stepping stone.
Commenting on the proposed budget given the downward trend of revenue with an upward overhead, the Commissioner for Industry, Commerce and Investment, Barrister Emmanuel Enoidem, said the proposed budget is realistic. Barrister Enoidem, who eulogized Governor Dom Emmanuel for the painstaking efforts to ensure that the best is laid for the state, assured that the present resources constraint will not affect government's industrialization program. Some filling stations in the state have complied with the directive to to sell premium motor spirits, popularly known as petrol, at government-approved pump price of 87 naira per litre. AKBC 45's crews observed that some stations complied when officials from NNPC and Department of Petroleum Resources (DPR) visited the filling stations in Uyo. Livingston Daniel reports that 3 managers of filling stations were arrested for non-compliance.
All filling stations visited by the officials of NNPC and DPR from Abuja included Dan Dollars, Ikodegbene Road, NNPC Mega Station Itam, JD Wak Oil Limited Akar Road, Baville Company Nigeria Limited Akar Road, and Majude Resources Limited. At Dan Dollars filling station, which had about 24,000 liters of PMX, but were selling at 120 naira per liter until the arrival of officials who forced them to dispense the products at 87 naira. Although NNPC Mega Station in Itam were selling at government-approved price, the officials discovered that they were under-dispensing products, hereby cheating the customers. It was also found that the station was selling the products in jerry cans and on man-no-man basis instead of first-come, first-served basis. The story was the same at JD Wak Oil Limited, Baville Company Nigeria Limited, Majude Resources Limited, which had between 10,000 to 20,000 liters of products but were selling at 120 naira per liter until they were forced to readjust to 87 naira. Dan Dollars in Itam ran into trouble with officials of NNPC and DPR when they returned to their old price of 120 naira when the officials left. On a tip-off, the officials returned and sealed the company. Managers of Majude Resources Limited, Akar Road, Blue Sea Limited, Wangiba Road, and Eduma Filling Station, Wangiba Road, were arrested for non-compliance and product hoarding. Dan Dollars in Itam breathed a sigh of relief as the station was unsealed when they accepted to sell at 87 naira. Ipin Petroleum was selling at 130 per liter, but on citing the officials, the poor attendant took to his heel until they were apprehended and brought back to sell at 87 naira. The story was not different at Nosil Filling Station on Run Road, as it was selling at 130 naira per liter until the arrival of the officials. In an interview, the NNPC State Coordinator on Monitoring of Petroleum Product Supplies and Distribution, Engineer Ajibo James, and Team Leader Retail Outlet Stroke Marketing, DPR in Akwa Ibom State and Cross River, Engineer Nwaugo Ejike, said the federal government paid subsidy on petroleum products and wonder why petroleum marketers should continue to exploit the people.
From all the stations we have visited, you can see for yourself that they have reasonable stock of PMS in the underground tanks. And so far, with the cooperation of DPR, you can see that all of them reverted to 790. There were places we went that had up to 28,000 liters, 24,000 liters, 15,000 liters. All stations visited had reasonable supply of PMS.
The depot owners collect subsidy. There's no excuse for them not to sell at 77.6 to the marketers. If we fold our arms, the marketers will keep on buying, keep on profiteering. This thing will not sell. That is why we'll start from here. Although it's a two-way thing, another team is also working from the depot. We are working from the retail outlet.
Some customers express appreciation to the federal government for this exercise and urge that the exercise be sustained.
If they are selling this 87, quite frankly, me, I like it.
Livingston Daniel reporting.
The member representing Abak State constituency in the House of Assembly, Elder Friday Walk, has decried the attitude of some university students who place premium on non-academic issues over their academic pursuits. Elder Walk was speaking when he received the executive committee members of an organization known as Better Days Foundation. Chris Nkam has the story.
The lawmaker observed that it was worrisome, a situation where students failed to adhere to their academic programs but pursue extraneous things like petty business and partisan politics. Elder Iwo commended the Better Days Foundation for coming together to think about the welfare of others other than self, noting that such ideal is the foundation on which Nigeria of the future is built. He, however, told them to key into the Dakada initiative of the present administration and rise to their greatness and to encourage their peers to do so. Elder Friday Iwo argued that when a youth finds something to engage himself in, it will be difficult for idleness to lure him into crime and criminality.
Because most of the crime you see in the society is because of idleness. Some is because of idleness. Some is because I want to live like A, I want to be like B, I want to eat like C. And they now double themselves into crime that we have in the society.
The Better Days Foundation had earlier appointed Elder Friday Iwo as their patron and honored him with the Future Builder Award, which was presented by the Vice President of the Foundation, Mr. Raphael Okun. The President of the Better Days Foundation, Ms. Nsabasi Umana, said theirs is a vision-driven organization which seeks to offer the society hope that can change, rebrand, and grow. This, she said, was in addition to offering charity to the less privileged and supporting their dreams for a better tomorrow.
But there are people that go to school without exercise book. There are people that go to school without pay. So if we give them this to go to school, I think it will motivate them more to go to school.
Chris Nkan reporting.
Governor Dom Emmanuel has rolled out a program aimed at generating sustainable employment opportunities for youth in the state, in line with its commitment to human capital empowerment. The program is known as the Akwa Ibom Enterprises and Employment Schemes, ACES.
The scheme is designed for the implementation of the state government's new enterprise program to empower local businesses which can employ young people while undergoing practical enterprise skills development. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Technical Matters and Due Process, Engineer Forebon, said the vision is to establish a state where anyone, irrespective of economic background, can generate ideas and start businesses without difficulty. According to him, the Akwa Ibom Enterprise and Employment Scheme, which has as its motto, "Off the streets into work," will develop youth with character, innovation, and competence while infusing in them dignity of labor and integrity in life.
We are going to where youth empowering local businesses who can employ our youth to earn a wage while undergoing practical enterprise skills development and hands-on training for growing businesses in Akwa Ibom State. Earning by doing and earning while learning.
Engineer Ebong said key objectives of the scheme include providing strategic solutions to reduce youth unemployment by 50% in the next 4 years, in addition to supporting and growing businesses and products with high export potentials through franchising and online platforms. According to him, the scheme will foster a domestic economy which produces to consume, imports only to transform into high-value exports and exportation of what he termed unoptimized products. On the program's execution strategy, Engineer Bong said that an accessible registration platform has been created with registration desk at local government council headquarters and also through mobile text messages, and noted that the selection will be transparent, IT-driven, and devoid of political patronage.
The news continues after the break. Stay with us.
Merry Christmas. Well, time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh.
Merry Christmas.
Jingle horse, pick up your feet. Jingle around the clock. And mingle in
Merry Christmas.
That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell. That's the jingle bell rock.
Merry Christmas.
There is a land of great beauty and wonderful people. Here, Mary Slessor called home until she passed on to greater glory. Here, Lord Lugard lived and administered Nigeria. The hills roll like the waves, and the waves rise like the hills. A land named after God, Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise. Welcome to Akwa Ibom, the land of promise.
We are a threatened generation, stalked in the consciousness of militarization. Failure to debrief our citizens leads to impunity on the part of leadership. The greatest office is neither that of the executive nor the legislature, but the citizens. Democracy returns power to the people. State of the nation, updating your political consciousness for political relevance and proper integration.
Welcome back. The 10th batch of Total E&P Skill Acquisition Program have graduated and are equipped to start up their own business. The graduation ceremony, which was held at the Governor's Office Annex, Uyo, had in attendance representatives of Total E&P and some paramount roles in the state. Ebuka Okafor was at the event to report that the 250 participants were trained in various skills. His reports.
The participants who enrolled for the program were trained in skills ranging from auto mechanic, catering, crane operation, electrical installation, pipeline welding, fashion designing, among others. In his address at the occasion, the Executive General Manager, Port Harcourt District Administration of Total E&P Nigeria Limited, Engineer Joseph Ajilore, said that the skill acquisition was introduced in the year 2009 as part of the company's corporate social responsibility to the host communities. He emphasized that the objective of the program is to empower the youths for sustainable development, poverty alleviation, and encouragement of local businesses. The Executive General Manager, who was represented by the Deputy General Manager, Sustainable Development, Mr. Cyprian Ojum, enjoined the beneficiaries to make proper use of the opportunity given to them as they embark on their chosen ventures.
The good number of them are now business owners, workshop operators, small scale entrepreneurs operating in various rural areas.
In his remarks, the paramount ruler of Etinan, Eridem Ime Umoete, who spoke on behalf of the paramount rulers, thanked the Total E&P for the gesture. 200 participants graduated in the ordinary skill category, while 50 on special skills. Starter packs were handed over to participants in ordinary skill category, in addition to a rent for a shop to enable them start business immediately. Mr. Obong Okon Ekanem and Mr. Osoro Friday were among the beneficiaries of the program.
Program they are able to develop. These are the things waiting for. Total, they are doing well in the private state. And beneficial, they are doing very well. Many people that are different. I am a pipeline worker.
Ebuka Okafor reporting.
About 28 investors have indicated interest to establish businesses in Akwa Ibom State. The Commissioner for Economic Development, Dr. Emmanuel Owidoka, while speaking on AKBC Current Affairs program, unveiling the mandate, said investors are from major industrialized nations. Dr. Owidoka said the good profile of the state has attracted national and international goodwill. The Commissioner explained that government is currently generating data that will help in determining a gross domestic product as Akwa Ibom is working towards economic self-sufficiency. He said that about 17 local government areas with a light in government Prince will experience government impact in the first phase of the state's development plan, pointing out that government is encouraging banks to open more branches in the state to stimulate economic activities. The Commissioner encouraged the formation of more cooperative societies to enable citizens to benefit from government economic development plans.
We have extensive discussion with several of them that so many investors are coming into the state. Therefore, a number can always be only at a point in time.
Tune into this channel by 10:30 tonight for details. Pupils from Gilgil International School in Biabong, Uyo, took a trip to the transmitting station of Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation in Tanya to acquaint themselves with the corporations of the stations. The pupils were received and conducted around various departments in the station by the Deputy Director, Reportorial in the Television Service, Mr. Celestine Ekwere. Mr. Ekwere explained to the pupils the functions of different departments and the equipment used for broadcasting. At the television studio, the transmitting director, Mr. Emmanuel Effiong, enlightened them on the process involved in the live broadcast. He explained functions of various facilities used in the studio, such as the microphone, audio mixers, camera, monitor, teleprompter, switcher, high-definition vision machine, and DVD players. The pupils also visited the Deaton Suites and the newsroom. At the radio station, a newscaster, Mr. Effiong, highlighted the functions of the equipment used in the studio. The pupils also visited the transmitting room and the radio newsroom. Also, students from Noble International Secondary School at Tanaford Uyo visited the 8KBC transmitting station in Taya. The students were received by the Chief Technical Officer in the radio service, Mr. Joseph Odo, and Head Current Affairs at the television section, Mr. Tamande. They also visited the television newsroom where they were briefed on news production. President Muhammad Buhari is hosting the extraordinary summit of ECOWAS Head of State and Governments in Abuja. With the formal talks between the Syrian government and opposition scheduled to begin from January 1, 2016, countries involved in the Syrian peace process are set to meet in New York on December 18, 2015. Mercy Ekere tells us about these and more in our foreign and national news segment.
President Muhammad Buhari is set to host the extraordinary summit of the economic communities of West African states, Authority of Heads of State and Government in Abuja. The political situation which had caused violence and unrest in Burkina Faso is the main item on the agenda of the summit. Also to be discussed are issues bordering on the security and economy in the West African sub-region, as well as the fight against the scourge of terrorism and illegal activities which undermines the West African economy. The federal government has called on the organized private sector to invest in the local production of vaccines. The call was made by the Minister of State for Health, Mr. Osage Ehanire, who indicated that the federal government lacked the capacity to embark on the project alone, adding that the recent rebasing of the nation's economy had taken Nigeria off the list of poor countries that benefit from free vaccines donated by developed partners. On the foreign scene, countries involved in the Syrian peace process are set to meet in New York on December 18, 2015. Russia, United States, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Turkey, and other European and Middle Eastern countries are involved in the talks, which includes a laid-out plan for formal talks between the Syrian government and opposition from January 1, 2016. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia is hosting a conference this week to try to unite Syria's divided rebel and opposition groups who are trying to forge a common platform to be able to negotiate with the Syrian government.
Friends, family members and sympathizers gathered at Chief Asukwenyang's Kampani 2 Road to bid farewell to Madame Eno Asukwenyang. The funeral was conducted by the African Church St. Michael's Parish, Ibiakuitan Archdeaconry Headquarters, Uyo Central Diocese. Preaching during the funeral service on the theme, "The Payday is Coming," Reverend Jimmy of the African Church stressed the need for Christians to be mindful of their actions and inactions as their earthly doing is recorded in heaven. He described Madam Enos Sukoyang as a devoted Christian who feared the Lord and had passion in doing his works, while reminding Christians of the reward they will receive in accordance to their works. Reverend Jimmy charged Christians to desist from evil and live righteously in order to be rewarded by God.
It is only that all of us will array before the judgment throne of God, and we shall have the reward according to our works.
A biography read by the deceased granddaughter, Miss Deborah Sukwo, indicated that late Madam Enoa Sukoyang was born in 1934. She was said to be a woman of integrity and devoted member of African Church, Ibiakuitan.
Ma was vastly respected for truthfulness, generosity, humility, and faithfulness. She was a good man and honest to her children.
Attesting to the good deeds of Madam Enos Sukoyang, the deceased son and staff of AKBC, Elder Uduak Asukoyang, described the late mother as a loving, caring, and kind woman whose efforts while alive contributed to his success story. He said her demise is a huge loss that would remain evergreen in his heart.
Difficult woman, and it was good. After I died, and I'm going to feed on Frank.
The funeral also featured dance, song rendition, and presentation of condolence message to the bereaved family. The remains of the late Madam Enos Sukoyang were interred in a compound in Itu Road, its local government area. There is another package. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45EU or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. Before we go, a look at the major stories. The State Deputy Governor, Mr. Moses Ekbo, has called on the people of the state to engage in business ventures that will boost the economy of the state. He made a call while inaugurating a hospitality outfit in Abak. We also brought to you a story that 215 participants of the Total ENP Skill Acquisition Program have completed training. That's enough package this morning. Thanks for watching. My name is Agnes Utlong King Brown. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.